Welcome to Clock Tower. I'm Brandon here with Colton, and today we are doing our deck gameplay video for Oshi no Ko. And Colton, what are we playing against
It's
today?
gameplay for the last two deck techs we've done because I'm on the Hololive promise list. The Fauna Bar into Mume level 1 and level 3 pants.
Fair. So for the Oshi no Ko list, the game plan for this one is definitely trying to do that level 1 package into the level 2 combo, into the level 3 combo. It sounds like a lot, but at the same time, one sets up the other, so that's really helpful. Not having a combo at 1 and not having to try to get climaxes 3 different times throughout the game can definitely be more of a benefit here, in my opinion. It makes things a little bit smoother instead of trying to force the issue there. But at the same time, just having some of those different cards at access points is really nice too. Colton, what does your deck look like for those of you who have not seen your deck video
So it uses
yet?
the level 1 Mume combo. That is both the level 1 advantage combo, it's essentially a salvage, and the level 3 that has a burn 5 on it, where you fix the top 3 cards and then burn 5. That is the main combo. We also have the level 0 bar combo, the Fauna, that just chills in the back row. Every time we slam the bar at the beginning of our Encore step, we get to top check 4, add 1. So it's just damage push, and every time we trigger the bar, we just get to slam it again and turn it into a card. So the deck exists to be a promise list. Like, that's what it's here for. So it's missing a lot of key profiles, as we will see. But it's fun. I wanted to play the Fauna stuff, and finally there's a package that lets me do it. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Could I have...
You'll notice that I'm not running the coin flip here because the deck, color-wise, just really couldn't afford to run the coin flip. I run the 3/5 oversize here instead.
Yeah, I should have killed the 3/5 oversize, but I forgot that both of my Faunas give power. So it doesn't just proc from the back row. So I had a 3/5 and a 3 on board, so I should have probably cleared that 3/5, but it is what it is.
I debated clocking blue here, but at the same time, I was wanting to really start getting pieces together. And so I just start gathering the pieces for the level 1 turn, because I'd really like to step over your level 1 board as opposed to play on the more defensive side here. And because I hit 2 on the brainstorm, I was really able to get that going. I'm now here looking at this side, recording after the fact, the audio over. Like, I'm only 1 climax left in deck, but I'm like, okay, if I get down to a really decent point here, I can also just use the torch to be able to kind of close out, assuming I get a little bit of blue into clock into this next little step here. So like, I'm kind of like really pretty well set up for what I need to do. I don't need climax for my level 1 turn. I can still push soul without it. So like, I'm pretty well like ready to go for when that time happens. I just need to be in that spot. I've bottom decked you quite a few times now, so like I know the bottom of your deck is pretty clean. So I know you're probably going to be running into a bunch of climaxes here in the next 15 cards.
Yeah, I think I just drew my 3rd climax here because I triggered a bar on the previous turn. So at this point, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to get out of this. I also have relatively limited mill options. I basically have the Brainstormer, and that's it. My combo doesn't really mill either. So just one of the limitations of a gen-specific list that isn't as powerful as some of maybe the other gen-specific stuff. But going back to your previous turn, when possible, playing essentially an extra turn at 0 when you're at 1-0 is really nice.
Oh yeah. There's definitely a lot of strength there for that potential, because like being able to just kind of use zeros to kind of win board really puts a relief on some of your next levels and next steps of the game, especially with how quickly modern gameplay goes through level 0, kind of going from 0 to 1 relatively quick. you kind of often miss out on some of that extra breathing room that really helps set up your game plan just a little bit more. So being able to, take advantage of that, I 100% take advantage of that.
Going second, more often than not when going first, I like to treat my second turn, even if I'm at 1-0, as a level 0 turn. It gives me another turn to set up, and I'm usually playing something that can clear whatever zeros happen to be on the board. So that, I think, is the best way to play that situation, instead of trying to force things and go to put your level 1 combo down when you don't have it already.
Absolutely.
As for me,
I debate here pretty heavily because of the pieces parts. The back row 0 would have been really nice to be able to get the support in quicker. So I was really debating back and forth, like, which piece do I grab here? Because, like, could I go dual leaders and just have the extra piece on standby? Yeah, absolutely. Or can I play, if I pick up a vanilla, I can actually, like, start really clearing board here. So,
and that's where not having as much mill on
clearing board
is kind of a challenge. I got a second Brainstormer just to try to get through as much of the deck as I could, but I do know I'm about to just eat a bunch of damage here. I couldn't really mill any further down.
Yeah. Which is fair. I debate whether or not to use the event, just because, like, I'm out 3 climaxes already. But at the same time, like, if I go through any more on this turn, like, I'll probably hit the climaxes and be out even more, and it's going to be more of a problem. So I was just kind of, like, debating deck state before moving on. But
it's also one of those things where, like,
in the end, I'm pretty content with where I'm at.
Defensively always just feels like a good play. Just because if you are in a bad situation, you can use it defensively, and if you're not in a bad situation, you can just hold it till next turn.
Yeah. That was the debate. Was like how much of this do I do? How much I don't? So I just kind of, like, sat on it for a second before really going forward. But, like, as much as Torch is really nice defensively in regards to, like, when you have a clean deck left to help get rid of that, I also, like, I know I still have quite a few climaxes left in deck yet. Like, I'm 5 out of 20, so it's like I'm still relatively compressed here.
One of the things I like about the Promise package is that you have a lot of cheap power at levels 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
The fauna that pairs with the back row fauna, it just sits at, I think, 7 all the time, which is kind of nice. The Iris 2-1 gets a whole bunch of power, and it just gets climaxes, or excuse me, it gets stock back whenever you slam a climax. And even the level 1 combo on its own goes up to 6-5. So when you have the Brainstormer in the back, you can present a board that's under, but still get there whenever you trigger a Soul Trigger. You can still get the power that you're looking for. So, like, right here, I just trigger the Pants, which, of course, the only ones that are in my grave right now are bars. This will become a problem, because I do trigger back-to-back, which does mean that I clear the whole board, which is nice, but I don't have any Pants anywhere. And there's no climax swap with the Promise package. That's probably the biggest weakness of this deck, is that it doesn't have CX swap.
So I go to this turn really trying and planning to make sure I get my pieces in play. I have my experience condition met for level 3. I need climax. So I'm hoping in the next 4 cards this could be the climax. And there is a climax. Is it the right one? No, but you know what? That's fine. It is a climax. I will take that.
Modern sets all have climax swap.
Right? But this one has a very fancy one, where if you switch it choice with a choice, that it is effectively free. You don't have to pay stock for it. So, like, yes. Gladly. So I wanted to do the full board so that way I could dig as deep as I could to try to get the climax that I needed. So That's why I did it the way I did. Like, I would prefer not to have to play my full board and then play that one, but
That's just the
um,
reality of the situation, though. Like
so
the check X
yeah.
is a good way to dig, but it is dependent on that board. So a lot of sets have the check three, pay one, pitch one, check three that procs anytime, regardless of
hmm
board. But having the check X allows you to dig deeper.
So I bury my oversizes into stock just so that way I can get the stock that I need. Like right now, I am set up for my end game. I have the stock that I need, as well as stock to be able to pay for the back row and to dig for CX again. So it's like I'm pretty well set up to
And
go.
stock swap is another profile that my deck
Um,
does not have access to. So I'm just kind of
yeah,
uh, treading water as I try to find a pants. Get rid of some of the bars that are in my hand now. So my compression's decent when I go to level 3, but that still feels pretty bad. Basically, I'm just trying to survive this next turn and hopefully find a pants somewhere. But I know I don't have any pants
right.
engraved because I couldn't mill one. So I'm about to trigger pants and not get pants, because that's how that works.
Always.
I do get the stock back from the iris, which is
But
nice.
you're able. Yeah, that is really nice.
But yeah, triggering 3 pants and being unable to get my level 3 pants into hand is kind of a problem. Make it 4.
Yep.
That is the primary way that you fix your
Yeah, it is.
climaxes in this deck, is you trigger pants. Which is usually fine. Like, again, this is a gen-specific list. This is not a meta kind of thing. But
hmm
it does make things complicated.
I do clock red here just because it's more convenient. Like I'm not planning on playing Torch. Well, but besides Torch, I would need another copy anyway for the Nexel bit. So it's like, there's, I'm not picking up another one anytime soon. I'm just gonna play combo. Might as well get the back row in, so clock red to get that happen. And then just play down my pieces and slam on climax because I got everything I need. I have the event in hand, but I don't have the additional stock to give a character burn 3. So I just kind of elect to hold on to it for the time being.
You're a brave man leaving Encore 3 checked. I will say that. I've used that by accident one too many times for me to ever have that checked.
That's fair. I have it up just because I play with some really dumb decks sometimes.
I do like this Oshinoko combo, though. I think it's pretty solid. Like,
Oh yeah,
the ceiling is reasonably high, but the floor is really high.
yes,
Because,
100%. Like I think,
half of your targets, or half of your opponent's deck is viable targets.
yeah, it has what I liked about Attack on Titan's choice top end with a better upside. With a better upside. So yeah, no, I really like the top end. I think the top end is really strong. I think it's one of the things that helps make the deck viable currently. Because it also is very good against compression decks too, right?
Right.
Because even when you pull climaxes or zeros, you're still getting those additional burns, and so you can potentially just burn through climaxes quickly. So, no, I really like this. I really like a lot of the things it has, a lot of the opportunities that it has with it. Um, so, no, I think it's a really fun deck.
So yeah, that is gameplay between Oshinoko and Hololive Promise. We'll be back on Tuesday with part 2 of all of the decks, previewing the stuff that
hmm
maybe isn't top tier in the meta, but still definitely has a place. That'll be Brandon, Braden, and myself. And then on Thursday, we will have probably 5 cards, 5 minutes for one of the sets that has come out recently. Until next time. Thank you so much for joining us. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one.
We'll see you then.